Hello everyone, we're here for our first lesson of our brand new unit. This new unit is all about measurement. Now we have done some measurement before, just like that's been more like how long things are, like area perimeter. These ones gonna be a little bit different. You'll see it. It's a really cool, interesting unit. We're gonna start by reading our goal here at I can use. Ready? I can use, describe, and compare. So I'm just going to talk about those three quick words. So you're going to use these different kinds of, basically you're going to be using these different kinds of units. And a unit is a different way to measure. So when you think about units with inches, feet, yards, centimeters, that's a unit. So we're going to be using some different kinds of units for this though. And so we're going to be describing them, using them, and also compare. So that's like similarities and differences. But let's read this one more time here. I can use, describe, and compare customary units of liquid volume. And customary means like regular or normal. In liquid volume, that's like how much space something takes up. Um, so a good way just to explain what volume is by looking at this photo right here. So we are going to be using and describing and comparing these different types of units to measure liquid volume. And so just up on the top part, you have these different kinds of milk containers. Now, I know not everybody drinks milk, but like for a math book, they use this because sometimes this is what this is what people mean most. Even if you don't drink milk, at least even like at school, right here, that is called 1 pint. Those are like those little tiny milks that people get in the lunchroom. Even if you don't drink it, you've at least seen it. And these are some of the just different containers for milk, and they're measured by volume, like how much milk they put into it. And so we have these different kinds of units. So for this first one right here, a cup. So a cup is and if you've ever helped with any kind of cooking or baking in your kitchen at home, you would see a cup too. A cup, usually if you have measuring cups, a cup is the biggest one. Now, if you use 2 cups, if you take 2 cups, that actually equals one of these pints. If you take 4 of these cups, that equals one of these quarts. So a quart is just a little bit bigger of a container. Um, if you use 8 cups, you get to a half gallon. And if you use 16 cups, you get to one of the big gallons. So you can have big gallons of liquid or different kinds of things. I mean, sometimes people just go to the store and they get like water, like a big thing of bottled water, like in big gallon jugs like this. Or sometimes like apple cider. Like we'll do that in the fall sometimes where we'll get a big gallon jug of apple cider. Um, yeah, and you just say it's a really nice, good, warm drink. But so you can these different kinds of things, and that's how you can compare a cup to these different types of units. Or you can start with a pint. If you take 2 of these pints, that would equal up to a quart. If you take 4 of these, that gets you to a half gallon. If you take 8 of these, that gets you to a gallon. And you can just see that just right below here is this chart that kind of explains how all of these compare or work together. Or if you just take 2 of these quarts, it equals a half gallon, or 4 of these equals 1 gallon. And if you take 2 half gallons, that equals 1 gallon. So those are just some different ways to compare and describe these different kinds of units. On this next slide, I'm not going to stop the video, but it's something I just want you to think. I'm going to give 30 seconds off of just what I said. If we were in class, I would have all of us do this. We're just going to order these units from smallest to largest. So we have cup, gallon, quart, pint. So we'd have just to think, okay, which one actually is first? Which was the smallest one? What's the next smallest? Then it's starting to get bigger. Which one's the biggest one? Okay, so in your head, you're thinking, hopefully you can even say it out loud to your iPad. Maybe I can hear you. I really can't, but so we're going to have 4 spots. That's the first, second, third, fourth. We're going from smallest to largest. Number 1 is cup. Cup is the smallest of these. Then it comes pint. Then we get quart. Then we have finally gallon. So those are just the ways to kind of order those from smallest to largest. And this is just some ways to think about this too. So a can of soup holds about 1 cup. So right there. Name another container that holds about 1 cup. So this again, like if we were in class, we would try to think, okay, what are some different things that hold a cup? So you know, maybe like a small, like at home, maybe you have some like glasses that you drink out of. Like if you have big tall ones, those are probably going to be holding more of a pint. But if you have like some shorter ones, like I'm looking at my teacup right now, my teacup holds about a cup of liquid. I have a couple like big teacups that I hold a lot when I want to drink a lot of tea. But I have this one's a smaller one, so this one holds about a cup. So you can just think about some of the like the cups or mugs that you have in your kitchen at home that might hold a cup. A large container of yogurt holds 1 pint. So if you or anybody in your family that eats yogurt, maybe you've seen these yogurt containers at the store, that holds about a pint. So if you think about it, something else that might hold about a pint, a taller glass holds about a pint. A medium-sized container of orange juice holds about 1 quart. Name another container that holds about 1 quart. Yeah, so either like 1 quart or sometimes you have half gallons too of orange juice. You usually don't see gallons of orange juice, unless if you are unless you've kind of like if you have a lot of people who are going to be drinking it, because then sometimes that orange juice doesn't last long enough for people to drink all of it. Sometimes it does, if you really like orange juice, but more often you see orange juice in like quart size or the half-gallon ones. If you remember, the half-gallons look like this. And usually half-gallons don't come in plastic containers. They come in more of like the paper, waxy paper kind of containers. And a large can of paint holds 1 gallon. Name another container that holds about 1 gallon. So I've already even mentioned a few different things. If you like apple cider, that I always know, like in the fall, you can always see those. You can even see them now too. But yeah, so just some different kinds of containers to think about. Okay, for our first activity sheet today, if you have not done it yet, we're actually going to be doing page 437 and page 438 today. But I'm going to go through page 437. If you haven't got these off of your Notability or off of Schoology yet, you can open them off of Schoology and send them to Notability. Up in the top right corner, there's just some good vocabulary, some things we've already talked about. Liquid volume. So it's about how, it's really what it means is like how much space stuff takes up. We have quart, that's just like one of the different containers sizes. A cup, gallon, pint, and fluid ounce. That's the only thing we haven't talked about. So whenever you are measuring volume, that's another way to measure something, how much is going into it, and you can say how many fluid ounces something has. That's fluid ounces smaller. Like a much smaller thing than any of these, but sometimes when you go to like a grocery store, a lot of times it's measured in fluid ounces. Okay, on the sheet, choose the best unit to use to measure the liquid volume. So write fluid ounce, cup, pint, quart, or gallon. So of these four, you're gonna have to try to think, okay, of these four items, how would you measure them? So for a carton of heavy cream, would you use fluid ounce, cup, pint, quart, or gallon? Okay. Number 2, a flower vase. 3, a swimming pool. 4, a wash tub. And some of these might have more than one answer. So you can put more than one answer here if you want to. In a wash tub, you can think about that just like a sink. Or like a tub, like a small little like tub, like feel like you're washing something in it. But the easier one is to think just like you think about it like a sink. And you can use some of these over again. Just to let you know, there is no fluid ounces on these. You could do for these, but you usually wouldn't use fluid ounces to measure these. But you could. Fluid ounce could go for any of them. Then we're gonna do a puzzle penguin. Dear math students, today I had to choose the best unit to use to measure how much water is needed to fill a kitchen sink. I said the best unit to use is cups. Is my answer correct? So think about how big a kitchen sink is. He was going to use cups. If not, please correct my work and tell me what I did wrong. Your friend, Puzzled Penguin. So then just you can write an answer to Puzzled Penguin. So just think, which would be better to measure a sink? Fluid ounces, cup, pint, quart, or gallon? Then think of a container. Choose the unit you would use to measure its capacity. Draw the container and write the name of the unit you choose. Explain why you chose that unit. So it could be anything. It could be just like it could be a glass for like water, whatever. So just think of a container, and you don't have to draw either. You could just write everything down. But I'll be interested to see what everybody else does. Okay, I'll see you back.